Hey, welcome to Story Time with Miss Wright. I am a third grade teacher in Belmont, North Carolina, and I have a book that is an adapted fairy tale. That means it has been changed from an original fairy tale called Cinderella. So if you're familiar with Cinderella, I want you to think about what is the same that comes from the classic story Cinderella and how is it changed in our book called Prince Cinders. Okay? Here we go. This is written by Babette Cole, and illustrated by the same person. Prince Cinders was not much of a prince. He was small, spotty, scruffy, and skinny. He had 3 big hairy brothers who were always teasing him about his looks. They spent their time going to the palace disco with princess girlfriends. They made poor Prince Cinders stay behind and clean up after them. When his work was done, he would sit by the fire and wish he was big and hairy like his brothers. One Saturday night, when he was washing the socks, a dirty fairy fell down the chimney. So think about what's similar with Cinderella so far. We still have some evil, mean siblings. This case, it was brothers, 3 of them. And in Cinderella's story, they were stepsisters that were mean. And in this one, instead of a fairy godmother, he has a dirty fairy. Let's find out what's going to happen with this dirty fairy. Remember in Cinderella's story that the fairy godmother turns her into a beautiful, not princess, but a beautiful woman who has a gown, and she gets to go to the ball, and she falls in love with the prince. But all Prince Cinders wants to be is big and hairy like his brothers. So I wonder if this dirty fairy is going to make him big and hairy like his brothers. Let's find out. All your wishes shall be granted, cried the fairy. Ziz, ziz, boom, tick-tack-ta. This empty can shall be a car. Biff, bang, bong, bo, bo, bo. To the disco you shall go. So here's the car that she's going to turn, the can, she's going to turn into a car. Well, let's see. That can't be right, said the fairy. Because look at her shoes. Can he ride in that car to go to the disco? Look how small it is. It's like a matchbox car. Toe of rat and eye of newt, your rags will turn into a suit. Drat, thought the fairy. So she's going to turn him into a suit, and look what happened. What kind of suit is that? A bathing suit. I didn't mean a swimsuit. Your greatest wish I'll grant to you. You shall be big and hairy too. Oh. Prince Cinders got big and hairy, all right. He's like a big hairy gorilla. Rats, said the fairy. Wrong again, but I'm sure it all wears off at midnight. Prince Cinders didn't know he was a big hairy monkey, because that's the kind of spell it was. He thought he looked pretty good. So here is what he looks like, and then here's what he sees when he looks in the mirror. So it looks like a big hairy man like his brothers. But that's actually what he looks like. So off he went to the disco. The car was too small to drive, but he made the best of it. So he's riding on the car like a skate. But when he arrived at the Rock and Royal Bash, he was too big to fit through the door. So there he is looking through the windows at this big disco party. He decided to take the bus home. A pretty princess was waiting at the stop. Eek! When's the next bus? He grunted. Luckily, midnight struck and Prince Cinders changed back into himself. Doing? The princess thought he had saved her by frightening away the big hairy monkey. Wait, she shouted, but Prince Cinders was too shy. He even lost his trousers in the rush. And trousers is another word for pants. You know, in Cinderella's story, she runs and leaves her glass slipper. But Prince Cinders has just ran and left behind his pants. The princess was none other than the rich and beautiful Princess Lovelypenny. She put out a proclamation to find the owner of the trousers. And here's the proclamation hanging up. The Princess Lovelypenny decrees that she will marry whoever fits the trousers lost by the prince who saved her from being eaten by the big hairy monkey. Fitting sessions begin today. Signed, P.L. for Princess Lovelypenny. Every prince from miles around tried to force the trousers on, but the trousers refused to fit any of them. Of course, Prince Cinders' brothers all fought to get into the trousers at once. Let him try, commanded the princess, pointing at Cinders. And this also happened in our Cinderella story, where the stepsisters tried to put on the slipper and it didn't fit. And you remember what happened with Cinderella? The glass slipper fit her, and she married the prince happily ever after. Let's see if this turns out to be a happy ever after. They won't fit that little squirt, sneered his brothers. But they did. Princess Lovelypenny proposed immediately. So Prince Cinders married Princess Lovelypenny and lived in luxury happily ever after. And Princess Lovelypenny had a word with the fairy about his big hairy brothers. Whom she turned into house fairies, and they flitted around the palace, doing the housework forever and ever. The end. I hope you enjoyed Prince Cinders. Leave something in the comments. Give me a like, a thumbs up. And I will see you for our next story next time. Bye.